welcome to SOVL. SOVL is a simulated battle strategy game which pitches two fantastical armies against one another, featuring a wide variety and myriad of enemy forces to be arrayed against. It's a relatively straightforward game. If you've never seen it before, you'll pick it up quickly, and if you have any familiarity with Warhammer Fantasy Battles or anything along those lines, you'll be right at home. So as you've seen from the title and thumbnail, this time around we'll be playing as the Greenskin Tribes, specifically the Goblin Shaman. There's some cool things to do. Not great in terms of actually punching enemies, such as the War Chief, but some cool things that the Goblin Shaman can do as a kind of recompense. So we'll be playing on difficulty 5, Enemies Rally. You unlock higher difficulties as you go through. 5 is the crucial one where it allows enemies the chance to return to combat. That's going to be significant in every fight we take, so I'll explain that as we go along. So we come to the most important decision of the entire campaign, our starting 2 units. So we know the Goblin Shaman we've selected comes with a retinue of Goblin Bowmen. So we've got an archer unit, we've got some ranged cover, so we want something melee. Of those options, we're going to lean the campaign towards being Goblin oriented, because we had very Orc heavy last time, so we'll avoid Orcs. So of those 3, I think we're going to take the Goblin Wolf Riders. They don't hit particularly hard, but they're incredibly fast, so that is flank round and do some nice positional stuff as I kind of show off. For our second unit, we're not taking the Boar Riders. I think I'm going to happy to take the Trolls. The reason being is that for anyone who does have familiarity with Warhammer Fantasy Battles, the Trolls synergize very well with the Goblins. They get along. I think it was possible to create mixed Goblin Troll units, so they're 2 peas in the pod, where you've got a large number of low order infantry and a couple big ones to kind of support them, so they mix and match quite well. So that'll be our army. And here's our campaign map. Now as we go through, the objective is to work our way left to right. We're going to try and get to the boss here. As we go through, we've got different stopping points that we'll have to fight our way through. We'll quickly cover what these are. Cross swords are battles in which we face our army up against an enemy army. We earn gold and experience for winning, at the risk of course of taking casualties. The armories here, these anvils, are effectively shops where you can purchase new units or improve the ones you already have. The question mark dice here are random events. It's hard to describe what they do. It's a wild variety of things. You could come across a pack of wild monsters that needs to be put down, a forgotten tomb that you could risk delving in for gold at the risk of your lives, things like that. So we'll see how many of those we go through. We have elite battles, which are these kind of sword hilt them down, equivalent to the standard battles, but harder in exchange for more gold. So they work that way. And then we have these tents, which are campsites. So you take these instead of battles, where they'll provide you a round of healing initially, and then you have a choice between either experience or a second round of healing. Typically you want to avoid these and take fights instead. The reason being is that you don't get any gold out of campsites. So in order to kind of snowball the campaign and buy more units and improve the ones you have, you want as much gold as possible. So you only want to visit these if your army's getting badly smacked around, you need a lot of healing. Otherwise, you want to take as many fights as possible. With that in mind, that's precisely what I'm going to do. I'm going to orient myself in such a way that I go through as many battles as I possibly can. So there's 3 in a row here, which is great, and another elite and another one. We'll have to go through one random event here, it seems, and then we get a fight there. So probably this way. There's only one here. Any other path gets us one there, and then that's the same. And then you have to go through some rubbish here, and here. Yeah, so we're definitely going down this way. So for our army, we have the 5 Goblin Wolf Riders, the Goblin Shaman, his archers. I'll let you know the party trick he's got in a moment, and the big trolls. They've also got something cool that we can go over. We'll go into our first fight. Against enemy Goblin Raiders. Okay, mirror match. We roll a dice each to determine who goes first. I'm going first. Actually, I would rather they had gone first, but never mind, we'll make do. So the way this will work is we set up our deployment. You can move your troops around and deploy them anywhere you want within this section. For those who don't know, you can hold the shift key when selecting a unit to give them a little twist there. So you can get, just as long as you hold shift while you select them, put them there, I'm fine for them to be straightforward. Because I know what the enemy are largely going to have, it should be 2 units of Goblin units, and there'll probably be another unit of Goblin Riders we have to face. What I'm going to do is put my Goblin Riders in the centre. The reason being is that theirs will be on the flank. They'll try and come down, and I might be able to hit them in the side. I'll show you what I mean momentarily, and I'll space these out to try and draw them in. No, it's only archers. Okay, even better. So I can just beeline over to them as fast as possible. So what I'll do to try and draw their fire into a unit that can sustain it, as I'll move the trolls forward. I can't reach them this turn, which is unfortunate, but we can get pretty far. there. The enemy will target the closest enemy unit. That's why I'm doing that. Okay, well, have you... My archers then make their way forward. So what I'm doing here is the two most important buttons in the game, the X and C keys. So the X key will reveal your charge range. So this is anything... If enemy units were in this blue zone at the end of this phase, at the start of the next phase, the charge phase up there, I'll be able to declare a charge. Simultaneously, the C key reveals their charge range. It's also the equivalent of your movement range, so that's exactly how far forward you can move. So yeah, we don't want to end up here if we don't want to be charged. So the other thing you could do is if you hold the Shift key and then hit X and C, you can see the range of your kind of projectile units and the range of the enemy projectile units. So I've moved to here, which means my short bows are indeed in range of this goblin mob, and as we can see, they can already hit my trolls. I'm happy with that, and I'll show you why in a moment. So I'm going to target this goblin mob. How does that work? So we're going to target an enemy unit for shooting. The way every interaction in this game works, it's all decided by the roll of a 6-sided dice. So if I roll over here, it says 5+. What that means is that if you roll a 6-sided dice, my arrows have a 5+ chance of hitting, meaning that any roll of a 5 or 6 is a success, a 1, 2, 3, and 4 fail. Why is it 5+? Well, that's because shooting is determined by taking the number 7 and subtracting your skill to determine your odds of hitting. So 7 minus 3 would usually be 4, so 4, 5, or 6 would succeed, but we're at long range, and by long range it's any shot that's over half of your maximum distance, so we're well over half, so it would be 4, it's decreased to 5s. So we've got, it says 14 bombers, so we'll get 14 shots hitting on 5s, we get 4 hits like that. I'll explain what that is. So after we get our 4 hits, the enemy then gets a saving throw, so they try and save themselves from the damage. To do that, it will compare the defense of the target against the power of what's hitting them. So our short bows have a power of 3, the enemy has a defense of 3. When power and defense are equal, the save is on a 4+, i.e. 4, 5, or 6 succeed, a 1, 2, or 3 fail. That represents the power and defense being precisely equal to one another. You have a 50-50 chance of either succeeding or failing. So they didn't roll particularly well, they rolled 2 3s, a 2, and a 4, so only 1 success, 3 goblins have died. We'll leave that there. Okay, so the archers have now discharged around us. They've shot at our trolls. Excellent, okay. So they fired at our trolls, they got 5 hits. Now because my troll defense is 5 and the power of theirs is only 3, defense is superior to power, which means we saved on 3+, a 3, 4, 5, or 6 succeed, a 1 and 2 fail. So that represents defense being superior to power. You have better odds than not of passing your saves. We only failed 1, we took 1 wound, which is a non-issue for us, as I'll explain in a moment. That's going to be pretty much irrelevant. What I'm also going to do while I'm here is I'm going to go and start moving my... I need to be careful here. So I'd love to move my Goblin Wolf Riders to catch these annoying short bows, but I need to be careful because he's going to come barreling forward and he's going to get to the exact same position as this. So if I just charge forward like a fool, I'm going to end up getting caught. So we need to think very carefully and position well here. That's about the limit I need to kind of get further to the side. Let's try this. Just bear in mind that as a benchmark. So I can't reach them yet. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this, I'm afraid. Can't quite catch them this turn without also being caught myself. I don't want this goblin mob to tickle me. So I can get to there and reach them, and I think... no, I've got to stay twisted like this. I guess what I could do is I could just come even further forward. No, back is okay. That's as good as I can get it. I think I'm safe from being reached by them. So I can just about reach those, which is perfect. That's what I want. And I won't quite be caught by this. Alternatively, I could just leave the trolls to it. Next time I could just ram them up there and have them deal with it. And in fact, I think I will. I think that's just a safer option. So I'll just start manoeuvring these around to flank the annoying units of goblins. Yeah, they're going to do what I thought they would do. Not surprising. Okay, it's the charge phase now. I have none I want to do this turn because they're all front charges. I'll go over what I mean by front charge momentarily, but it's obviously not beneficial for us to do it this second. I'm going first, fine. I'm happy to take a point blank, just another shot at these goblins. Killing another 3, excellent. They could reach me this turn if they ran at me, so I'm just going to get a little bit of distance. You don't want your archer units engaged in combat, typically they're very fragile. They're going to come this way, interesting. This is the downside, because we're having to go second, they've got time to kind of manoeuvre around us, which is a bit of a nuisance. What I'd like to do is get my guys far enough up here to turn around and hit that annoying archer unit, but I don't think I'm going to manage it. No, a little bit further back. I can't twist anymore, so I can see them just about. So that should be okay there. It depends what this unit does. They're shooting my trolls again. Now you'll notice that my trolls are no longer wounded. The reason that is, so they have the regeneration ability. So they have 3 wounds each, there's 3 of them. But whenever they sustain damage, the unit will recover all of the wounds unless they lose one entirely. So in effect, unless you sustain like full casualties and you take all 3 of them, you're just fine. You don't care. So what I'll do is I'm going to position this up here such that it can hit either the archers or that goblin unit. So they're going to have to make a decision. Either they stop those or they get hit by my trolls, like this. So they come forward for my trolls, fine. They're not particularly inclined to do a whole lot. So we're going to have you flank the archers, and you can take those goblin mobs on directly. Okay, my shaman now gets time to shine, so I can show you what they do. I'll come forward in here and shoot them again. Killing another 3, great. But he has a spell. He's a magic goblin called Primal Fury. So select any one of my units, I can add +1 attack and allow them to reroll their hits. So if we look at these, realistically, these goblin wolf riders should be able to just chop through those no problem. So the one we're going to want to help are the trolls, because they have to deal with their front attack. So I'll go over why this is a bit more of a hassle than that one. There's numerous benefits to charging the enemy in the side. Perhaps the keymost one is that the enemy don't get to attack you with all their attacks. So when fighting in ranks, you get to fight with 2 ranks, unless you have spears, and it's 3. And then you get all your stats. So their skill. So determine hits in combat is slightly different from shooting. Rather than 7-, it's skill versus skill. So I'm skill 3, they're skill 3. When skill is equal, you get a 4+ to hit. Again, it represents you have exactly 50-50 chance because the 2 melee combatants are equally skilled. So of their 10 attacks, they did terribly. They only got 3 hits. Again, we then determine power. To defense, they're power 4 because there were 3 and they improved by 1 because they charged from a hand weapon. See their charge bonus +1 up to 4, but that's still below our base defense of 5, so I'm saving on a 3+. I take 1 wound, which we know is actually 0 wounds because we're just going to heal it, and we hit back. So our skill is equal, so we got 3 trolls with 3 attacks each for 9, so we hit on 4s, but we re-roll failures because of the Primal Fury. So we get 7 hits, which is actually 8 hits. Right, and for that I'll explain that defense roll. So defense roll was incredibly bad, they could only save on a 6+. The reason for that was because we were power 6 to the enemy's defense 3. So ordinarily, when power is greater than enemy defense, they save on a 5+. Only a 5 or 6 would succeed. It represents them having an unlikely chance to pass a save. When power is 3 or more, strictly 3 or more greater than defense, it worsens the save all the way down to 6+, meaning they only succeed on a 6. So we can see that that 6 was a pass, but that 4 failed, that 5 failed, everything else failed. They took 7 casualties. It was pretty catastrophic. They then, after you lose a combat, you have to take what is effectively a break test. So you check your discipline, subtract the amount you lost by, which was a lot, and they had to roll a 1 on 2 dice, which was impossible, so they ran. So here's our Goblin Wolf Riders now smacking the short bows in the side. We would have probably preferred they rolled 3-6 to save. That's annoying. So they hit me back once, and they do a wound. I would really like them to go away because these guys are quite fragile. Yes, they run. I got lucky there. Getting stuck in combat with these would be a right nuisance. Okay, so that went swimmingly. We could, in theory, rear charge both of these units. I'm going to skip it for now. The reason being because the enemy has to test to try and rally themselves. So I'm going to give them a chance to fail before I re-engage in combat. So let's just shoot these with archers again, killing all of them. That's an amazing shot, or more accurately, they just failed to save at all. No use in doing spells. Okay, so they've rallied, so we are going to have to charge them. So I'm going to put you into their rear. They have also rallied, so we're going to have to charge them as well. Fine. The upside to that, on the turn an enemy unit rallies, they can't maneuver or do anything, they're just stuck in place. So almost universally what ends up happening is you're just going to end up smacking them in the back with the unit that just broke them, like so. And the only thing we can do is we can use our spell again. We're going to use it on the Wolf Riders this time. We saw they tend to struggle a bit, and one of them is hurt, so we don't want them to take unnecessary damage. There we go. So the trolls again. So 4s, but no rerolls this time. So only 4 hits, and we're only power 5 because we're not getting up to 6 because of the spell. So they save on 5s instead. They break again, which isn't surprising. Just had 3 trolls attack them in the back here. So it's 10 attacks because there's 5 guys with 2 each. So we hit on 4s because of equal skill, but we reroll. So it's 5, which is perfectly average, which becomes 8. Fantastic. And we've gone all the way up to power 5, and this is only a defense 2 unit, so that smacks right through them. You can't roll a -3 on 2 dice no matter how hard you try, so they've definitely run away. And the enemy has conceded. There's nothing left to engage. Everything's either dead or broken, so we win. So at the end of the fight, this will happen. You'll generate experience for units. If you took some casualties, you get some minor healing, and then you have a choice between the resting for more healing or loot. We're perfectly healthy as we are. This unit starts missing a couple because of the difficulty we're on, so we'll just take all the gold because we want as much as possible early on. Yeah, we're exactly as we are. So the trolls ended up taking probably enough to lose a guy, but they just keep regenerating, so they're fantastic for sustaining like enemy ranged fire because they'll just heal it all the time over and over again, and also for brawling because they have high defense and they regenerate, so they're really difficult to shift. Not great offensively, but fantastic as a tar pit unit and just being a bruiser. So we're going to try the same trick again. We're going to hope that we're going to put the fast unit there. They're going to have something quick on the flanks, presumably, that I'll be able to catch. And the enemy have to go first this time, which is great news for me because it makes it easier to catch them. So there's their fast unit. They'll come barreling down here to try and hit my poor trolls. So I'm going to waste time by moving these first. Or waste time and just start killing skeletons. 14 shots, we get 5 hits, killing 3. No use in using the spell yet. They're going to come forward. Okay, so I'm going to have to do this preemptively now. So I know they're going to come forward. So what I can do is I can position this in such a way that I'm going to be able to intercept them when they do so. So let's get to here. So we want to make sure we don't get caught by their annoying... They're going to come forward just enough to catch him, so we're going to make sure we're not visible to them. We should be fine here. Just twist a bit more just in case. They can't possibly avoid moving into my range, which is good. So that should work. Let's give it a go. Forward they come. They've done it perfectly. They've moved exactly where we wanted them to. So because we're going to charge them, what we can do is we can basically ignore them with our trolls. The one thing we do have to be careful of though is you don't want to get in your own way. So to legally declare a charge, you have to be able to see them. You have to be in range, and you have to be able to draw a straight line from the centre of your unit to the centre of the facing of the enemy you're charging. So there to there. Obviously this is no problem now, but if I put my trolls here, we would actually end up cutting off our own charge. So I'm just going to move back a touch to make sure we don't interfere, and then you can phase, you can kind of cheat and phase through your own units without worrying, but this works. We can get away with this. It's fine. And I'll show you why I'm happy to do that, despite the fact it looks like I've just set my guys up to be clearly charged. Okay, so the enemy unit's declared a charge on us. Oh no, how terrible. Well, that's fine. Another benefit of either charging an enemy in their flank or rear is that when you do so, it counts as an intercept charge. So I'll show you what it is. I'll intercept, and it will cancel any charge that the enemy is attempting to make. So we've effectively killed their charge. We go through, and we smack into them. Okay, here they come. They're going to try menacing my poor trolls. I don't particularly care for now. I'm just going to happy shoot some zombies. Alright, let's shoot the skeletons. Try to chip these down first. They're slightly more intimidating as units go. They're going to try get towards me. I'll get a little bit further away just in case. And while I have time, let's go ahead and Primal Fury my Goblin Wolf Riders. Makes them stronger and gives them reroll hits, which I think is even more important than the strength. Here, we'll just have the trolls kind of wait around a bit. What will eventually end up happening is they will win this combat so we can surround and kill these skeleton warriors. They should win in one turn. So we have equal skill, so it's 4s to hit with 10 attacks, but we reroll. So 4 hits, which is actually 8 hits. Way to go, Primal Fury. And we get, they did have an amazing save, which keeps them in it annoyingly, but they don't. They only get to hit back with 1 dog, so they basically bounce off us. They break, which is not at all surprising, and they're off the field. No charges to declare this turn. We can do some positioning stuff first. Okay, so they're pointlessly trying to walk up towards me. That's not going to help them. What I'll do is I'll move around with the trolls. Get a nice flank on them here. There's nothing they could do to stop me. Yep, so we can clearly, they can't see us, and we can clearly see them, so that's good. Oh, these have come towards me. That's annoying. I'll have to do something about that. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. This unit of skeletons annoying is redirect towards my trolls so they can see them. So to put a stop to that, what I'm going to intend to do, I'm going to move forward and shoot them to start. Yep, just start peppering them down. Using Primal Fury, and then for this unit, what I'll do, I'm not going to engage them yet because I'm now going to use the trolls and the goblins to attack this from both sides, thereby denying them a lot of their attacks, which is crucial. So they can't turn and face, they can't do anything. So this Goblin Wolf Rider unit is instead going to be devoted to denying these skeletons. If they ignore me and try and attack me, I can just hit them in the back, but for now I'm happy to get in their way. So they declare a charge on me, I'll intercept them, and because I've intercepted them, I can then put them to this side as well, so we can completely crush them between two flanks. Downside is we might lose a couple of goblin short bows. I'm not at all concerned, the trolls will be fine. Yet they're trying and failing to catch these. I'm completely unconcerned with that. They'll never manage it. I'm too fast. So who do we want to use Primal Fury on, do you think? Well, who's the better choice? So you can have... They're only skill 2, so we're going to be hitting on 3s with everyone, because we've actually got better skill, amazingly. Zombies are very poor stats. So do we want these to reroll hits, or do we want 10 Goblin Shortbows to reroll hits? We also get more power. They'll go up to power 6, which is better, because it reduces their save from 5s to 6s, whereas this will only be 4s to 5s. So I think you'd be slightly better off... Actually really close, but mathematically I think because the Goblin Shaman is in that unit, you've actually better off here, but I'm not going to turn down just buffing up my trolls and having them go nuts and smashing into them. Okay, so our Shaman hits twice, way to go, and kills a zombie. Nizzle. I saw his name, and then so our trolls here were uniquely of better skill than the enemy, because zombies don't really know how to fight, so we hit on 3s, re-rolling. We get 7 hits, which is actually 9 of 9 hits, fantastic. And then they can only save on 6s because of the high amount of damage you do. They get 2 attacks on me, which is none. And then my goblins will go, killing no more. Okay, might get stuck here. They hit my goblins twice. I might lose 1 or 2 here. Yeah, I saw that coming. Now, the annoying thing about zombies is that they don't... I got lucky there. They don't ever run away. They crumble. So they can't. So instead of running away at the end of the combat, they just lose 1 to 3 more. They lost all 3 there, which is great. So the entire unit disintegrated. Nothing to charge yet. This is probably going to turn around now. Yeah. So what I can do there is rather easy. I can just get out their way. So I can still be seen here, but I'm not actually concerned. I'll show you why in a moment. Put these into their back, and you might as well shoot at them. I could have moved into short range there, but it's not going to make any difference, as you're about to see what happens. Next turn. Okay. So if... Are they going to... Okay, they're going to... So they've declared a charge and we can see it. But again, because I could see that I was behind, I can intercept them, so that will kill their charge. And because I got the majority of my unit into their side arc, you don't have to put the whole of your unit in. You notice there's some in front, some in the side. And as long as your majority there, it will be that flank. It'll be a side shot. So we get rear and flank. So this unit's basically finished. They'll only get to attack me twice with the trolls, and they have 3 wounds each to regenerate. So they can't possibly lose a troll, and I can't possibly lose a Goblin Wolf Rider. So we're perfectly fine. So this is just going to be us. Now, if you know a combat's going to be quite easy, rather than having to sit through it, you can hold the spacebar button to kind of go faster. So I'll show you like this. So here's our hit roll, hit 4 times, kill 3. 1 hit, take no damage. Wolf Riders hit 6 times, kill another 4, do no damage back. They crumble 1 and the unit's gone. So you can kind of fast your... If you know you're going to win a combat and it's going to be pretty trivial, hold space and just get through it quickly. Okay, so we did lose a couple goblins there. It was kind of a surprise. We got 1 back, so effectively we lost a single gob, which is fine. We've also gained enough experience to start leveling, guys. So our Wolf Riders and Trolls have leveled up. So when this happens, you can level up and you get a choice between what you want to do. Right, so you can improve their skill, which is interesting because it just makes them better at hitting, which is good. You can either looter, which means when you select gold, you get more gold, or a goblin-specific one, Goblin Greed, which is just a flat, superior version to looter. I'm going to take that immediately. The reason being, yes, the skill from a combat perspective would be nice, but the earlier you take this, if you know you're just going to be spamming gold a lot, the more worthwhile it is. So this is going to generate a huge amount of gold for us over the course of the campaign. And the trolls have leveled. For them, I am going to take a skill because I want them to actually be able to hit and kill things effectively. I need some hitting power in the army, so we'll forego a little bit of gold there. And you're fine for now, we'll just take the gold. So yeah, plus 20, that's amazing. So yeah, we'll go into... We're exactly fine as we are, so we're into the next one. More Goblin Raiders. Okay, we're just having a little civil war of our own accord here. I'm going first. That's annoying. I'd rather they go first so I can see where they move. But same strategy. We'll have you there, you here. It would be a bit annoying if they kind of came round here. I could probably reach the woods to make sure I can see them, but I'll just put you a bit backwards to give myself better odds. The downside is that if they don't, if it's an archer unit rather than a goblin and wolf unit, that would be kind of annoying. 2 goblin wolf units on this side. Okay, I can stop one of them. The other one's going to be a bit of a nuisance. So I'll do you first. I don't think I'm going to be able to shoot anything here, I'm afraid. No, we're just purely moving for now, so just move as fast as you can. We're very short. They're only short bows. They're quite short range. That's just going to happen. I can't stop it, I'm afraid. They'll only go up to power 4, which isn't great versus my trolls, so I might be able to take them on the chin and just prevail in straightforward combat. I think I'm going to do it. So I'll win the fight. I'll give myself Primal Fury to improve my odds, and they're going to come around here and start menacing these. Again, I can probably get away from that just by doing this. Interesting. So I can see them, and they can't see me. So what's going to end up happening here is I'm going to declare a charge on them. The downside is that I won't be able to use Primal Fury on both units, so I've got to make a decision. Either I can take both charges now. There is a benefit to denying them the charge, reason being is that they don't get the extra power, so they save at 3, I go up to 3. But without Primal Fury, it's a real toss-up whether or not I win this, and in fact they're a bigger unit than me, so I think I'll lose. So just for now, I'm actually going to hold off and not charge. I'm going to let the trolls win this fight, and then once they win, they'll break, and then I can come around and deal with this later. So I'm going to leave them there for now outside of harm's way. I'm going to come forward. I'm going to delay a bit, let the trolls win this, and then bring other things in. So, yes, I could side charge them, but I'll show you what happens if I try this. They're going to charge me, I'm going to get intercepted. So you can intercept from the front if your unit is closer to the enemy than the unit they've charged. So I tried to charge this, but because they were closer, they can intercept me on the front. So I knew I was just going to demonstrate. So we'll counter because we still want the power from our charge. It makes it mathematically does matter, because once I add Primal Fury, we'll get up to 6, which is 3 over their defense. He's going to inch forward and waste his time achieving nothing. If I'm lucky, I might be able to immediately recharge them with that unit. I doubt it, though. Okay, let's just get out of the way with this one first. So we'll just get you over here. Be careful you don't accidentally get caught by them. That would be very embarrassing. Let's do this for a second. They're going to waste their time trying to chase my archers around. Can I get into short range, do you think? Yes, I can. So it's now 4+. So let's Primal Fury our trolls. Improve their power, give them rerolls, and let's start hacking away at these goblin mobs. Not very durable goblin mobs, we can probably do some good damage. It's 3 already. Right, so this is a question. Do we lose a troll is what it comes down to. So they get 5 hits. I should be okay unless I roll very badly. I rolled. If I just needed to pass one more and I would have held on to him. Unfortunate. But we'll slaughter the unit in recompense. There's no way they hold here. You know, they take 8 wounds instantly. Bad luck to lose a troll there, but never mind. It was always going to be a slight toss-up because they get 12 attacks. They'll hit half of them, they'll get 6 hits. I save on a 3+. Mathematically, I should take 2 wounds exactly, and I'll be fine. Didn't get away with it this time, but it was worth a go. So we'll hold here for a minute because they're going to have to make an ugly choice here no matter what. He's going to either he turns around and gets killed or just lets me recharge him for free. So he's pretty much doomed no matter what he does. So this is going to happen now. Yeah, you're never going to catch me here, so it's just shoot and run away again. This is the kind of optimum strategy that a ranged unit will use. You shoot them and then just withdraw so they can't ever get to you. No combats in progress, so no use for spell. They've rallied, so I'm going to go and put a stop to that by just running them up here, having the trolls execute them. Again, no risk of putting them into charge range because they're going to get intercepted. They're going to charge me, fat chance, and you can, in vengeance for your lost comrade, slaughter them. Very good, very good. They're going to try and squeak over here, no chance. I'm just going to move forward, and now that I'm out of range, twist around and start shooting them. Can I get far enough around? Careful, so I've actually moved into being killed range there, so I might not be able to get around to hit them this turn, which is a bit annoying. Now you see I'm always just in range, so I'll have to go without a round of shooting for this one. Maybe we can do it this way. Oh, it's tight. You think they can't see me there, I'm definitely safe, and I can still hit them. Fantastic. Less. Very good. And we're going to go ahead and Primal Fury our Wolf Riders this time, because this should be trivial. Okay, so we didn't take the extra skill, so we're still equal skill, but I'm hopeful that the reroll will basically account for it. That should be good enough to get us over there. Because they can't hit back and they've been recharged, so the terrible discipline combined with all the losses means they can't. Even with a great roll, the lower your discipline roll, the better. They still can't hold on. And then here it should just be us. Hey, they actually survived. Look at that. But again, he'll just run away. Once you get a low discipline unit flanked like that, it's basically over. There's nothing they can do. I could charge here. I'm just going to wait because they might just run away all by themselves. You're still trying to bother me here. So because they've moved first, shoot your archers first and then move. It's the optimum way to do this. There's one guy left, so and then we can just get away. Careful. Like so. Here, they have rallied, so we'll have to do something about that. I'm happy to put the trolls into the side because They only get 2 attacks. You can't possibly do 3 wounds to a troll with 2 attacks, so we'll hit them from both ends and definitely kill them. In you go. In you go, and nothing to do there. Confirm charges. So they had it. And somehow I don't think this one little goblin mob here is long for this world. He has an amazing save. Oh, he nearly did it! Oh, doing good work with that shield there, but nice try, but no. And then let's just hold the spacebar so we can get through this. Trolls do 1 wound, take 1 back, which isn't really a wound, and then yeah, we do some more. They lose, they break, they run, they're off the field. Last, I wanted my troll. Give me back my troll. I know for a fact we're not going to heal him back here because you have to take at least 2 in order to get that back, so we're just down 1. So the Goblin Shaman is leveled, which is good. We can see what he can do. Interesting. So post-battle income is good. You can just generate more gold. Wounds on a character are typically not worth it. The way that works is you rely on the defensive properties of the unit he's in rather than his own statistics for things. So the wounds, you have to get through every single one of those Goblin archers he's with before his wounds and defense becomes relevant. The exception is where a duel takes place. So if you get stuck in combat with an enemy character, and there's a one in your unit and one in your unit, the 2 characters will enter a duel, in which case their individual stat line will matter because they're going to start hitting each other. In the event I wind up in a duel with a Goblin Shaman, something has gone atrociously wrong because he's going to lose. Look at his meager stats up there. He can barely hit anything. He's got 2 attacks. So we're not going to take the wound because in the event where it would matter is a circumstance which we're just never going to want to happen, so we'll ignore it. The income's good. I'm actually going to take Recruiter. So when we get to a shop, which we're just about to, you can, when you buy the unit, it will immediately come with XP rather than being, level 0. So it's a pretty big power increase for new units. And his accompanying shortbow goblins have also leveled. Ooh, interesting. So Backstabbers is obviously not great for us because we're not going to get into melee combat with an archer unit, so reroll missed attacks when you're attacking from the rear or flank. That's not like shooting from the rear or flank, you have to actually be in melee, so that won't help us at all. So it's either unit size or the goblin, so strength in numbers is a goblin special, a better unit size, so yeah, that one, I guess. I mean, no reason in not doing that. So they're full HP, I'm going to have to take the troll back, 2 isn't really a viable unit. And here, I would love the extra goblins, but we're just about to go into a shop, and I really want that extra bit of gold. So in the next fight, we'll take the guys to hit them, but I'm just going to take the extra cash for now, because I think it's going to make the difference between me buying something and not buying something in here. Let's see what we got. Okay, our options. Ooh, some very good things. This is quite promising. So we're going to immediately buy the unit of Goblin Wolf Riders, because Goblin run specifically, and they're exactly the kind of thing I'm looking for, so... Holy moly, you could have 11 of them. That's incredible, but I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to go with Backstabbers. So these will massively benefit from the re-rolling attacks when you rear or flank something, because as you've seen with their speed, we're getting to the rear and flanks a lot. So Backstabbers you are, you sneaky gits. Okay, and then for other things, 255 is enough for another unit, but I'm going to prioritise upgrades. Namely being, there's a fantastic one for the trolls here called Putrid Stench. So all hits that the enemy unit attempts, they have to re-roll to hit, so that it simulates the trolls smell so bad that they can't effectively fight them in combat. They just end up bouncing off. So absolutely we'll go with that. And for the other things, they come with hand weapons, which means they go up to power 4 on the charge. So we can also buy them great weapons, which is just, it's +1 power always, so it'll always be 5, and then another one on the charge on top of that. So just a flat upgrade to make the trolls just made massively better. They hit harder, and they're harder to hit in return. So a huge improvement there. We have 130 gold left over. And of those, I can't resist. There's a spell up here called Hex of Ruin. This is the best spell in the game. If you're having difficulty with the campaign or anything, buy this out of hand because it's unbelievably potent. Reduce the defense of an enemy unit by 3. So we'll just buy that immediately. That leaves us with 90 left. You could buy short bowls for the riders. Not really priority right this second. They're pretty much fine as they are. So what I'll do instead is I'll buy Banners of Swiftness for my 2 riding units. So they're already fast. We'll make them even faster. So turbo speed Goblin Wolf Riders there. Very good. Okay, so that's our new army. So we have an extra unit of... Oh, interesting. It was a retinue. So my Goblin Shaman got moved from the Archer unit into the Rider unit. That's fine, I guess. I usually don't want him in combat, but it doesn't really make a difference. So fine, we'll just have you there. Just be careful not to put that unit into enemy units to have a character in it. Otherwise they'll end up punching my poor Shaman to death almost instantly. Otherwise that's fine. Going to our next fight. Against a bandit gang. So this is where my choice not to take any banners of mist, so banners that make it harder for enemies to shoot at us, might come back to bite me, but never mind. Let's just make sure the trolls are in front so they take the majority of enemy fire for us, because fire will just bounce off for the most part. We want our ultra fast guys in the flanks. Kind of want to avoid being in the woods, it will slow you down, so one there. And between those two, again, you might want to consider putting the trolls there, so if anything does come barreling towards us, we can flank them with this unit of Goblin Wolf Riders, and you just stand there and get ready to shoot stuff. Because they do have a fast unit here, so I'm hopeful I can catch them in the side. They have a unit to shoot at us in that unit. That Spearman unit seems to have effectively commit suicide, so we'll just get rid of them now. I'm just going to put you right into their flank. Spells, nothing I want to use immediately, so that's okay. Forward they come. They should shoot the trolls, which is fantastic news for me, so I'll just go ahead and start chipping away at something here. 1 foot knight, they're quite resilient foot knights, so that's going to take a while, that's fair. Forward they come. They are going to shoot at me. Combined between the two of them, they might actually get one. So they've taken 1 wound off of them, which is okay. I'm going to have you race forward, because what's going to end up happening is they're going to flank them, so I don't have to be worried about them charging me. So it's more important that I just get up here as fast as possible to catch and kill these annoying handgunners. So you'll get to there, and then next turn I should be able to reach them. The downside to doing this, of course, is that I'm going to give them... I can actually get far enough to charge them immediately, which is quite impressive. I'm going to do that. I think it's worth it. I'll take a nasty volley and I might lose a troll, but if I can just get onto them as quickly as possible, it's worth it. They only hit me twice. I should be okay here. Oh, double one. That's really unfortunate. I did lose one. Just need a single save there would have kept the unit intact, but never mind. Get round and hit these guys in the side. Careful not to be caught on that unit. So I don't think I'll be... Yeah, I can clearly draw a line through there, so we're safe, so we'll do that there. Troll's just getting a bit unfortunate here and there. They usually get away with more and take quite so many hits. Okay, so you're going to... Oi, we'll put a stop to that immediately. We'll have you engage them, and you engage these. Go through. We're allowed to teleport through units there, that's why I knew that was going to be fine. It's kind of a bit cheaty, but never mind. They're going to come back and try and hit my trolls. Okay, so I need to win this combat as fast as possible, because if I don't, the trolls are going to be in severe trouble. So it comes down to where I want to use my spells, either Hex of Ruin or Primal Fury on these 12 combats. I shouldn't need any help with the handguns. They shouldn't be able to kill trolls. That should be relatively straightforward. We have better skill. We've only got... It would be great if we had a third one there. It'd be a lot more certain, but they'll only hit... They have, what, 12 attacks? They hit on 4, so they get 6 hits on average. But they're then forced to re-roll, because we have Putrid Stench, so 6 will become 3 hits on average. I'll take 1 wound. And then hitting them back, I get 6 attacks. I hit on 3s, I get 4 hits. I'll be power 6 against defense 3. They only save 1/6, so I get about 4 wounds on average. I should just win. This is less certain, as this is the unit that isn't backstabbers. I took Goblin Greed on them, so I probably want to lend them a bit of a hand here. And there's this unit, which does have backstabbers, so they're already re-rolling. So if a Hex of Ruin on these would probably be the most... Yeah, I'm going to take the safe approach. This leaves you a bit out to dry, these wolves over here, so I'm going to have to hope you kind of get away with it. And then they're still active, these... I'm going to gamble and hope that you can break them in 1 turn. If not, I'm going to have to start healing these wolves, which is unfortunate, but what are we going to do? Okay, so here's the important hit roll, because I can't re-roll it. Perfectly average. Okay, so I should be okay to... They rolled above average, which might get in my way here. I take no damage back. That's hopefully enough to break them. It'll be close. It is. Excellent. Goodbye. Here, it's just... The trolls should just win. Yeah, they kill 4. Hits, which is 3 hits. Okay, so unless I fail all 3 of these, we're fine. We take 2 wounds, which is actually 0 wounds. They hold. I don't care. We're just going to be tanking there forever. And then here, so I used Hex of Ruin, so their defense has been reduced all the way down to 1. So even our Shaman killed 1 there, and then we have equal skill, so we hit on 4s, but re-rolling because of backstabbers, so 8. And then, yeah, it's power 4 against defense 1, so even they get to save on. I do lose a Goblin for it because they hit in the side, but so be it. Ah, they hold because of their incredible number of ranks. All that damage still wasn't good enough. Ouch. Okay. This is going to get ugly now. Right. How do I want to do this? So we're going to put these goblins up here with the intention of flanking this unit, because I'm pretty sure this combat's going to be ongoing. Let's just put, I'm going to put myself in a position where I can't possibly be intercepted by that annoying unit of foot knights there. That's okay. These can start, everything is engaged in combat, so you might as well just run up here. Don't obviously fight them in the side, that'd be terrible. You can't shoot into combat, so that's why I'm not shooting anything. I've got no choice. And then here, we can either Hexa Ruin something or Primal Fury ourselves. Which of those do you think would be more beneficial? Probably on this unit, because I've got more attacks. This is going to be a loss, I'm afraid, no matter what I do. So we'll try and win this one. And between the two, Primal Fury gives us power 4 against defense 4/4s, but it lets us reroll. Whereas that will reduce them to 5s. Actually quite close. So they go from defense 4 to defense 1, but I'm only power 3. So they'll be saving on 5 plus if I do that. If I use Primal Fury, I'll go from power 3 to power 4. So it's 4s, so their save is slightly better, but I get to reroll hits. I don't know which of the... It's mathematically, I think, it's extremely close, so I think I'll do this and give myself just better rolls. So the trolls, yeah, they're doing well. They could beat those no problem, but they're going to take a real kicking from the foot knights in the side here. That's 4s, but they reroll. Oh, they completely failed! They won even despite that ridge. That's amazing. Way to go, trolls. Okay, so they're still in it. Hopefully they fail morale. Okay, no, everyone passes morale. We're all still stuck in combat. So be it. So here comes Nizzle's attack. Hey, Nizzle kills another spearman. This is probably going to hurt. I'm going to lose a lot of guys here. The reroll is nice though. Gives us some good hits. Yeah, because now they get to turn and hit me a lot. Ouch. So I still just about win, which is nice. And now they break when they shouldn't. So they held when they shouldn't have, but then broke when they shouldn't have either. Okay, fair enough. So I'm going to have you flank them there. And so I'm doing this because hopefully I should be able to win this combat by so much they just give up. I'm not going to do any more charging because it's more in my interest just to stand here and... Okay, they do rally. I'm going to have to do something about that. What I can do first is shoot them. Reduce their pesky numbers. Other things, you're just going to stand there and hit them in the back again. What spell do I use, do you think? Probably Primal Fury on this unit. Because it means I'll do more damage, which means they'll fail morale and have to run away. Yeah, shrinking them to defense 0 is actually pretty good. Does that mean... Actually, I think it would mathematically be better to Hexa Ruin them. Because everyone who hits them now will be killing them on 6s. Here we go. Can the trolls survive again? So it 4 dead instantly. They take no damage from the unit in front, which is good. And then these guys inside. Putrid Stench is really showing how potent it is here. They just can't effectively do meaningful damage. And these guys, so I put them in, this is why I put them in, because they, even though there's only one guy left, all of those wounds still count for combat res. So yeah, they can't hold and break when they otherwise may well have held on. So you're going to charge me there? Absolutely not. They've rallied, we'll have to do something about that, that's fine. So let's shoot them first. Another one, cool. And get away. And we'll set up some joint charge here, so I'll put you into the side. So I'll give you discretion as to whether or not you want to hit them in the back or them in the side, and I'll put you into their back. So, okay. And then here, again, I don't want to be stuck fighting these, so we'll Primal Fury ourselves and try and break them in one go. So Nizzle kills another spearman, way to go. And then our attacks, not many Wolf Riders left I'm afraid, so we're kind of running low on attacks, but they don't have all their annoying ranks to hold on. Ah, double 1 to hold on, that's infuriating. I'm going to lose another Wolf Rider because of that. Okay, fine, you win. So let's put a stop to that. Put a stop to that. I'm hoping that with all the damage I inflict this turn, that they'll just give up and run away, and they won't have an opportunity to turn around and hit my poor Wolf Riders. You're not going to achieve anything, so just stand there and look pretty. I'm going to hold spacebar now because there's a bunch of stationary combats I can't influence. Do I lose a Wolf Rider? Oh yeah, in fact I lose 2 more. Okay, so that unit needs serious healing. We win, and they'll just, yeah, they crumble. So yeah, when you surround a unit in the Umbrella Break Test, they can't run away. They get completely surrounded and killed. But we won't lose any of these, which is good. because they're our money-making unit. Yes, they turn and face me, but because the enemy switched to routing this turn, so they're going to give up and just concede then and there, which is fine by me. Okay, so we have to work on that. We've got a decent few units, actually. It's not bad. So you're a moneymaker. In this instance, because I'm going to have to take a lot of healing in other units, the trolls need one back, and 3 isn't good enough to be a unit, so I'm going to have to max heal them as well. So again, you have to go another turn without your extra archers because you generate too much money for me to turn down, so I'll do that. And because we're about to go into an elite fight. Okay, so this is going to be the hardest one we've encountered thus far. Against Korgak, a fellow Greenskin Tribe member. Having a charming debate over whether or not goblins or orcs are the best. Spoiler alert, goblins is the best. So we'll have you there, you on the flank, so you can start going around. This is the unit with backstabbers, so hopefully they send something there to catch you. If not, don't worry. I'm going to switch it. It's easier for you to maneuver that way, so I'm just going to put you there, there, and there. Okay, so their fast units are all on that side, so I'm going to have to wait for them to come bounding forward. I don't particularly want to face them head on. They'll just crush my poor wolf riders in direct combat. I can probably be a bit clever here and use both of them to my advantage and catch one in the side. So we're going to have to be patient and do some stage management here. So I can get to there without being caught, that's good. He's going around what I can only describe as the wrong way. Yeah, let's start chipping wounds off these because they're going to be really annoying if I don't. Probably that one first. It's small fire, but with the sheer number of goblins I've got, I will be able to hurt them quite effectively. They'll come forward, but they're not going to reach anything, so don't worry about it. And it becomes a question of where am I going to put you? Probably just here for now. Keep drawing the attention of this annoying boar rider unit. So we're going to be a bit cagey here because I can't... If I ran everything head on, the trolls would win, everybody else would lose. So you need to be very careful about where you do and do not pick fights. In direct combat, we would simply get crushed. So kind of delay them a bit here. I'm going to just use the trolls for a second. Force them to move something. Okay, so he's moved that. Again, I can probably just get over here. Ah, that blasted wood is going to slow me down enough to scupper my plans. So the downside to these woods is that they halve your movement as you try and get through them. So yeah, if it wasn't for that, I'd be free and clear, no problem. The alternative is I just don't engage, I guess. We just go across this way and have another kind of delay turn. So yeah, I can't be reached there. So they can see, so the way it works with line of sight, so you see the blue here, they can see into the woods but not past them, which is why the blue stops this line. So I won't be able to see them, but they won't be able to see me, so they'll probably just come barreling forward again. It should be possible to outmaneuver them next turn, so I'll just stay there for now. Good, I know where they are, which means I could just shoot these again. Okay, not great. I'm hoping to do just one wound so I can chip off that guy. Yeah, good. Get away from that boar unit because it will slaughter you. I'm going to come around there and achieve nothing. Let's just back up a touch here, please. That's fine, we're all clear. Eventually we'll outposition them and get a good charge, or just shoot as they don't stop me. No charges yet. Yep, really skip. So they've moved that unit there. This is where things are going to start to get a bit difficult because I'm not going to be able to delay much longer. I can probably get the trolls away. I want to be able to turn so I don't get rear-ended. Okay, I know exactly where he is now. He's moved so close to me I can't possibly escape being charged. That's annoying. What this means is that I can't, because he's right there, I can't actually wiggle free. I'm just stuck in front of him. So, yeah, you're trapped there, I'm afraid. Oh, that's going to be a problem. Okay, what I'll have to do is I'll have to run them into the side. So I'm going to move you over here to do maximum damage to these while you have the chance. Try and take off another one, it would mean a lot. Ah, no, they're still all there. Okay, that's going to be annoying. You've moved to there. I'm going to take the opportunity to move up and catch this boar unit in the flank. So. Okay, that'll have to do. So they didn't quite reach me there, which is good news for me. And I've got spells that I can't use for anything, so I'll leave it. I can at least prevent these from charging, which is good. I can send the archers into their side. So I'm going to do that. I might even consider just not putting the wolf right. Uh-oh, this isn't good. So do that first. Oh no. Because I did that, I should have done that first. Okay, so this is a good learning experience. You can only do an intercept charge once per phase. That this was implemented because historically, if this wasn't in place, what ends up happening is you get an infinite cycle of cancelling each other's charges and you get stuck in a recursive loop. So because they did this, I did that. They then charged here first because I could flee if I'm suicidal and completely lose the unit, but that's pointless. I need to do this first to stop them from charging. Then when they did that, I could then charge them. Because I misordered it, I won't be able to execute this charge anymore. So they're on their own, I'm afraid. I'm going to come over here and start pestering my poor... I don't really care for that. I'm just going to move and shoot them. Move up this way. Move, twist, shoot and run. For them. Good shot. And we're clear. So you're going to try and fail to catch my trolls, which is no problem. But I might just take the flank on these now while I have the chance. Yeah, that's a free flank charge there. Great. Upside to trolls is that quite... And then here, I've got to make a choice. Either I cripple this unit or I cripple that one. Of the two, they're only going to get 2 attacks on me here, so I think I can just overwhelm them with sheer numbers and win the combat anyway. So I'm going to try and help this unit out as much as possible. If I lower their defense to 2, that means they only save on 5+. I'm power 3, I go up to 4. Greater Primal Fury will allow me to wound them on. I go up to 3, 4 on the charge, 5, so it'll be equal, so 4s. So the save is worse, but I get to reroll hits. So again, it's a toss-up between Primal Fury and Hex of Ruin. They're quite close. I think it depends how reliable the hit roll is. I think I'd rather not miss all of my attacks, so I'm actually going to do this. If I get a bad hit roll, it doesn't matter what the Hex of Ruin does. Okay, so they hit me, but that's going to hurt because I only take 2 wounds, it's not bad. 4s, I hit rather well, so I would have probably preferred to do it the other way because those 4s wouldn't have counted, but never mind. And they hold, which is really irritating. Okay, so we're stuck there with them. Here, I really hope you break these in one turn. We reroll because we're backstabbers, so 3 wounds isn't bad. They do 1 back, we can live with that. Please run away. Yay, got them. Excellent. They've kind of trapped me there, I can't really escape anymore, but never mind. So we'll have the trolls murder these. That should be a relatively straightforward win. They're going to come over here to trap me, are they? Okay, so let's do you first. Yeah, I could probably just set up putting you into their back. Do I want to spell something? Over here is probably a good idea. I'll Hex of Ruin these, try and get rid of them. They rally, so I'm going to have to do something about that, but not right this second. What I'm going to hope is that I win this combat and then I can side charge them. So they're going to rear charge those anyway, so just, I don't know, take the opportunity to shoot these while you have a chance. Chip off that one guy who's wounded, maybe. Yep, we got him. Just move yourself out of range there. Careful you don't... that would be a side, so we're not going to get in the way of our own charge at least, so that's okay. Okay, so here, can we defeat... Oh, 666, that isn't good. Oh, it's going to hurt, yeah. Okay, we still won combat and we wiped them out, so that's good news for us. Over here. So we get a good hit roll, which is the only thing that would stop us. They rolled great saves, annoyingly. But they only get 1 hit back because of Putrid Stench, which is 0 wounds. We just win. They run. All of those ranks aren't going to help them, and they're immediately off the field. Okay, so here. So let's go ahead and... So obviously, they can't actually reach us, so I can be a bit picky about how I do this. I'm still going to do this, I suspect, because I'd rather just get rid of that as fast as possible. Charge, charge. I'm going to hold off on this because I can wait for the trolls to get over here and really make it easy for ourselves. He's going to turn, which will never avail him anything because you're not going to catch us. And then spells. What goblin magic do we want to weave? Extra power and reroll hits here, or reduce their save. Probably reduce their save because it helps both units, whereas Greater Primal Fury would only help one of them. Start having the trolls orient themselves, get back here and smash this unit for me. So the worst case scenario is I lose an extra Wolf Rider, but it's unlikely. Yeah, they'd have to hit both times, and they didn't, so I knew it was okay. Yeah, that's enough to really hammer them. Can't roll a 0 and 2 dice, even with the best roll possible. So there was a mechanic back in Warhammer where regardless of how badly the combat went, as long as you rolled double one, you would actually be able to, you would pass, so that it would count as insane bravery. I think the 40k equivalent was insane heroism, but not in this variant, I'm afraid. Even a double one won't do it. The enemy are routing this turn, so there's no need to engage anyone in combat. We can just pretty much skip the majority of this phase now. Go ahead and kill him out of spite, and everyone else is just fine as they are. Okay, so yeah, you've killed him. Victory. I don't think somehow that one unit there would have much chance if we continued playing. A couple levels, a guy back, which is nice. Okay, so the Goblin Fighters have leveled up. Larger size, or so of the discipline isn't fantastic because their discipline is so low that even if I added one, if we ever lost a combat and had to roll a test, we'd almost certainly fail anyway. So you don't typically want to be taking discipline because it bolsters a stat that only comes into play if something has gone catastrophically wrong. So you typically avoid it. So either more replenishment or unit size. I don't know if those unit sizes are just more useful. Okay, and the trolls have leveled. +1 attack each. Ooh, that's good. So 4 attacks each now. That's pretty fantastic. Turn them into my real sledgehammer unit. So you're full HP. You're full HP. Excuse me. And then here, 2. We're going to lose a lot of gold, but 4 isn't really useful as units go, so we'll have to forfeit that for this turn, I'm afraid. I got up to 7, which is a bit annoying actually, as you're about to see. I'd rather have been at 6. Kind of go away. And then here, do I finally want to suck it up and take those extra guys? No, I need more gold. More gold, please. I'm a greedy goblin. So when you go up to, so the way cavalry work is that, so you can have 5 in the front up to 6 guys in the front, but then when you get to 7, they're forced in the back. So 6 is the ideal spot for cavalry because you can have them in one line. Once you get one in the back here, this is just unwieldy. It's really annoying to position. It's easy to be flanked. You don't typically want this. So if you're going to do this, you might as well go whole hog and have like 12 guys or something, but 7 is just awkward. But oh well, we'll make do. So I think that's where we'll stop there. We can complete the remainder of Act 1 in the next part. That's where we'll stop our Nixel Stone Chance SOVL run for now. I do hope you enjoyed. If so, do like and subscribe. I deeply appreciate it and it helps out the channel immensely. It really does mean a lot. If you kind of liked what you see, then do let me know if you'd like to see more with this run, or if there's other kind of SOVL ideas you want. More stuff's coming on the channel, which is going to be still kind of Warhammer related, strategy related. So if that's your bag, stick around. It'll be more stuff for you in the foreseeable future. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.